Karma Collector here. Please do all the things like follow, share, subscribe, whatever, wherever this has landed, all right? Excuse me. I'm going to release this on my YouTube Karma Collector channel. It's probably going to be a longer video. And on TikTok, I'm going to put on my 18.0. So, if you're interested, I also have a Karma Collector 19.0 on TikTok, and I also have another YouTube channel called GYPSY Rose Not a Mom. All right? You guys are interested, subscribe there. All right? And what I want to talk about right now is a bunch of circumstantial evidence that GYPSY Rose is indeed a Luciferian and cut a deal. Her mother was a Judas sacrifice in exchange for fame and fortune. And let's not forget, guys, let's look at her whole life. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to be a big star, and everyone wanted to be famous. It's not difficult to talk someone in like that into it. Not at all. All right? And David Blanchard's the one that was right there to do it. Okay? And he's the one that set the whole thing up, guys. All right? And, you know, I got to do a whole thing on evidence because it's like you guys are like, well, we need proof. Like, we need proof. Like, we need proof she didn't have a baby. What's the proof? Listen, and then when I even put it out there, and I'll put it out there again, give me a piece of evidence that you want me to supply to you that's definitive proof that someone did not have a baby or that this occurred. All right? What I'm telling you is this is all circumstantial evidence. And in murder trials, aren't you guys the true crime people? Isn't this where the GYPSY Rose, aren't you guys true crime people? Don't you guys watch these murder trials? Okay. There's never a smoking gun because people are trying not to get caught when they do shit like that. Okay, it's usually, look, they've got the person over there that's on trial, right, sitting there at the witness at the fucking defense table, and they're calling witness after witness with little bits of evidence and little bits that they tie together and show you that they did this or they said this or they were here or they were there, they did this, they lied about that, and it's circumstantial evidence is better than direct evidence most of the time. Number one, murder is difficult to prove. That's difficult. Murder with the elements you have to prove. Murder is difficult to prove. The state, it is. I know it looks easy to you all because you see the ones that make it to trial, the idiots that tell on themselves in police interviews and stuff. All right, murder is very difficult to prove. Okay, and circumstantial evidence, a good defense attorney can explain away direct evidence. They can explain away DNA evidence and eyewitness and all this shit. They can explain that away. There's certain circumstances you find yourself in, and then you've lied on top of it, and there's no reason that you would have lied unless you're right. Those are circumstances, and there are circumstances that are way more difficult to get out of. All these trials, like we just saw, those of you that watched, what's her name? The Adelson mother, Donna. All circumstances. There's not one bit of direct evidence there. Not one shred. And they convicted her in a hurry. Same with Charlie. There's no direct evidence. Her brother. It's all circumstantial, all of it. Circumstantial evidence is better than direct evidence. All right. When you're trying to prove murder, it is. All right, so that's what you have to understand. You guys are looking for, you want me to produce a video or a screenshot or a conversation of them talking about, well, I worship the fucking Lucifer and I did. That's not going to happen, okay? But let's talk about it, okay? This is probably going to be a long video. When she first got out of prison, dipshit GYPSY Rose, I made a list, okay? So I try not to leave anything out. I'm going to try to do this calm and slow. It'll probably be a long video probably, okay? Again, my girl, Send My Sweet Tea, my buddy, from day one, she knew I was telling the truth about this shit from day one. And the author of The Big Three, please go subscribe to her over on, or go follow her rather on TikTok. Shout out to my friend, Send My Sweet Tea. All right. They first gets out of prison. The Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian thing. Do you not see what they were doing? This is all bread and circuses. GYPSY Rose is contributing back by being a part of the bread and circuses. She sure got thousands of us all tied up in it. There are people whose last couple years, their entire income they're making off of making content because of this dumb bitch, bread and circuses. There are people paying. I have no doubt in my mind. There's not a person or two out there right now putting a kid or two through college off of it. All right, so she's giving back as part of bread and circuses. That's what she's doing. All right, and you don't see the duel they had between Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian. You guys, they already have a diss. You guys know that. The big, whether it's fake or not, or just part of All the World is a Stage, Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift have this diss thing going. Taylor even put her in a song, and it's back and forth, right? They're both high witches, but they got different things going on, different type. Kim Kardashian is an Armenian witch. Her whole family going back, the women are Armenian witches. Don't let these whores fool you. All right? They don't have any talent, any of them. Why do you think? I can go on and on about all the talentless singers, all the bitches that can't sing and it's all fake. They computerize their voices. I can list them. I'll make a whole video on that. These are just, all these big stars you see, these are just the assholes that are willing to put their soul on the line. That's all they are, that they made idols of. And sold to get all this fame and fortune. That's what you have to do in this world. You have to. You only can get so high, and you have to. All of them are. Okay? Now, it was a dual thing between, they took it to her. Remember, she wanted tickets to that. You don't think she could have got tickets to Taylor Swift? Of course she could have. But it was between her and Kim. Look, she chose Kim. But guess what? Sister Christy Jean Lopez pointed this out, right? She caught it. Kim didn't even take her fucking coat off when Gypsy came over there. A Luciferian in the Luciferian Brotherhood, but another one, and she didn't take her fucking coat off. Dude, that's a big disrespect to do that on camera in front of everybody, man. That's what that was. That was a disrespect to her, because she wanted to choose Taylor Swift, and everyone that's in the Brotherhood knows what's going on. They think it's funny, because she was going to choose Taylor Swift and try to get those tickets over the Queen Kim. You can only go to one high witch, one or the other. Okay, so that's what that was about. That shit with Taylor Swift and that. She could have got that. She had to choose, and she chose Kim. She was supposed to make something out of that, but of course she pissed Kim off, and it went nowhere. Jeffree Star was a humiliation ritual. Okay, that's the next one. Jeffree Star, they sent her like that to set her up when he was making fun of her, and then turns around and says, I'm not collabing with the fucking murderer. No, that won't be happening. That was a humiliation ritual, okay? So, that right there is some circumstantial evidence, because let me tell you something. There's no way Kim Kardashian would have ever fucked with that trash for any other reason unless she was asked to. Okay? She was asked to do that, and she did not even take her coat off. All right. Jeffree Star, that was set her up for a humiliation ritual. Okay? Or she could have, if she was smart like and savvy like most of them, she would have turned that into something. She would have made a joke about herself on it and carried that on, and she could have made a whole thing of that. And of Kim dissing her. But she's just a fucking idiot, and her hubris is off the charts. She didn't get it. She could have made something of that. Those were opportunities. She had to do something with it, though. Okay? She can't walk in there and make everyone lick her ass. These people that are already well known and shit. Right? The Kardashians, I need you to understand, they are witches, man. And they kissed the ring for sure right away. They were already into that stuff anyway. They would never be anything. They don't have any talent. The only two of them that are even pretty are fucking Courtney and Kendall. And that motherfucker Kendall's aging like milk, like the rest of them. I don't even think she's 30 yet. And I guess what happens when you let all these basketball players run through you. The rest of them held together by fucking, what's that shit called? I can't even think of it. The silicon and heat is what's holding their fucking faces together. They're despicable. Okay, so I covered that. That was humiliation ritual. The haircuts that Gypsy kept getting and saying, "Oh, I dyed my hair and it's free," and did this, and then she had Sheena saying that she fried her hair and dyed it. At the same time, Gypsy's posting that she cut it off to donate it. When everyone knows when you fried your hair, you can only donate virgin hair. Okay, you can only donate hair that has not been treated. They're not going to take someone's hair that's all fucked up with chemical and shit to give it to, oh, God, oh, you had cancer? Okay, and you had to lose your hair because of chemo? Okay, here, well, here's some real fucked up hair we're going to give you. Of course they're not going to do that. And this dumb bitch said it, and then what does she do? She turns around and lies, oh, someone hacked my account and did that. Someone hacked my fucking account to come out and say that I was so charitable that I cut my fucking hair off to donate. We remember that? It's because she was covering for humiliation rituals. Guys, no one else does humiliation rituals except for the Brotherhood. Okay? No one else tells you, cut your hair off, bitch. And then go out and explain to the public why you did that. Why you look like a little fucking boy. Why you look like a fucking skater boy again. That's what that is. Okay? And before she put that fucking wig on that you guys say is so expensive, what are you talking about? Those fucking wigs she got, God, I'm going off. Those wigs she was wearing back when she was making those videos for Nick, those fucking Halloween wigs look better on her than this one you guys say is so expensive. It looks like a fucking hair helmet, man, on the motherfucker. It doesn't even look natural at all. So I don't know what's going on, but when she cuts her hair like that, and she has to go out with it a little while like that. She has to. She's going to come with a black eye before long. She'll have a left black. She's going to do something stupid. She's going to end up with a left black eye here before long. And she'll explain it some kind of way. She'll say Aurora, her fucking fake baby, did it. This is what we'll hear. Okay? So, those are humiliation rituals. No one else makes you do a humiliation ritual. That's what they do to women. To men, they make them fucking cut it short and dye it all the way out, put sun in it, or peroxide, make it all the way that ugly yellow, orange. Something like what Ryan did all of a sudden. And he's not working anymore. And he's got a bunch of properties in his name now all of a sudden, Ryan Anderson does. How about that? All right, so the humiliation rituals, those only happen to the Luciferians, okay? No one else makes you do that. All right. She was released from prison at 3:30 in the morning. At 3:33 in the morning, I bet exactly is when they stepped over the line, right? Because we know how they are about the 333s and the 333s. We know about that, right? So I bet you they released her at 3:30. Why would they do that? And why did Mike Stanfield show up? And I bet you, I know that they walked over the line at 3:33. That's a fucking thing they do. It's a ritual thing. I'm telling you they did that. That's why they released her at 3:30 in the morning. That's how sick they are, okay? Also, December 28th. Look this up, guys. Look, type in Google the significance, the occult significance of December 28th. They call it the most unluckiest day of the year. It used to be what Friday the 13th was December 28th. That's what, go look it up. It used to be. And it commemorates 2,000 years ago when King Herod ordered that all Jewish boys 2 and under be killed in an effort to kill Jesus. All right? And it's called Childermas, or the Feast of the Holy Innocents. And that is why they chose December 28th and called the warden and said, just let the bitch out on December 28th. And that's also why she said her fake baby was born that day. All right? It's about new beginnings and like I said, killing Jesus. Anytime you can get a slight in on that, they're right for it. Okay? Commemorates them attempting to kill Jesus. Do you get it now? Fuck. And, which brings me to the name Aurora. Okay, well, we know that Aurora in the Roman mythology, it's not the same because Lucifer, we know, is an angel, doesn't have a mother, was created by God. We know that. Angels don't have mothers. But when they're talking about the planets and shit, Lucifer's mother's name is Aurora. But also, they did a TV show where Lucifer has a daughter named Rory, but her real name is Aurora Morningstar. They're so sick, man. And named her and called her Rory. Her name's Aurora, though, on the show. That is why she named her kid Aurora right away. That is an homage and a nod to Lucifer. The same way Brian Rogers, a.k.a. Spanister, who was there the night of the crime, the torture ritual, and sacrifice of Dee Dee, named his daughter Aurora. That is why Kim Blanchard, David Blanchard's wife, the motherfucker, that filmed the torture ritual and ultimate sacrifice of Dee Dee Blanchard, while her big, fat, nasty husband was the one running the whole thing, was running the whole ceremony and telling Gypsy what to do and this, that, and the other, why his fucking nasty wife is filming it. She, from a previous marriage or relationship, whatever, has a daughter named Aurora. And she's been a witch and a devil worshiper from way fucking back. They're the ones that got Gypsy the deal. All right? And how come, and Christy Blanchard names her, anything these motherfuckers have the authority that's female to name comes up with Aurora, and it's an ugly name. Now that's my opinion, but no one's tripping over themselves and naming their little girl Aurora, man. Okay? More circumstantial evidence. Okay. Right away, they jump into action. They send Mike Stansfield. Let's talk about him a minute, okay? Who's a Luciferian. I told you that's why he went into place right away. They were arrested on June 15th. They claim they found the body on the 14th and have them arrested on the 15th in Wisconsin now, which means they were only first appeared there and made abreast of their charges, and then they had the right to fight extradition, which means Wisconsin would have given them a set of attorneys to fight Missouri extraditing them there. Of course, they would have lost in the end, and none of the time would have counted against their sentences, but it doesn't matter because they waived extradition, so they could go back right away. But what I'm telling you is, Mike Stanfield went in and registered as the attorney of record, a public defender, who no one even fucking knew at that time. Of course, after Gypsy's case, and he went into private practice right after her case, because it looked like he got an amazing deal. Look what he did, man. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But fuck, what am I saying, man? Oh, so he's a Luciferian. He's sending right away. That's why he was assigned to her. He goes in, a public defender, and signs, which they're still in Wisconsin. That doesn't happen, guys. I know how the law works. One thing triggers the next. One thing doesn't even start. It doesn't even start until they get back there. What if they would have fought extradition? That could have taken 6 or 8 months. What happens is the governor, well, first of all, the prosecutor that wants him in Greene County would have had to contact the governor in Missouri. It has to be all in writing too, man. And then that governor contacts the governor of fucking of Wisconsin, and says, we want him. And it's a formal thing that goes back and forth, man, and they have a right to fight it in court. Now, they would have lost and ended up getting it anyway, but that could have took forever. They don't, and public defenders don't do that. They are assigned their case in their office by their boss, the elected public defender. That is how it works. This is circumstantial evidence. Of course, by itself, it's nothing. But with everything else, when I'm telling you, why does he keep popping up? He went up there in that state. Are you not understanding? A public defender, and said, well, I'm going to go ahead and take GYPSY Rose's case. She's mine. Okay? That doesn't work that way. It would have been when they got back there. Then the process would have started. All right? It's because he was assigned, because he's a Luciferian, and was sent in there right away to start making this shit happen. Okay? And also, the deal that she got, the way they flipped it around and made her, she's the one that wanted her mama killed. It doesn't matter how you slice it. She is the principal, and he is the hitman. Again, it doesn't matter if you offer money, you threaten them, you offer them pussy, drugs. It doesn't matter. If you trick them with love, it doesn't matter. If you're the person that wants your mother killed or any other family member, and you're getting someone else to do it, they are the hitman. And in every other case in all of the history of American fucking jurisprudence, bar none, you can't find me one. Find me one, I got $1,000, man. Find me one case in the history of America where they went ahead and said, well, you know what? The bitch that wanted her mother killed, I think the guy that was just minding his own business, who she fucking decided to hire to kill her mother, supposedly. How about we get her to testify against him, really? Well, we got to flip it around and say she's testifying for him somehow, because, well, the other way wouldn't make any goddamn sense, and everyone fell for her testifying for him. And we'll get them to do that, so she gets the lesser charge. She gets the lesser charge and the lesser time, and he gets the full deal. That's never happened before. Because why? Because if we're not for him, this crazy bitch would have found someone else to do it. And they know that because it's her mother they wanted dead, not his. And that's never happened before. And it's only because she cut a deal. She drank of the cup of the blood of the sacrifice. Yes, most people don't get caught doing their blood initiation and their Judas sacrifice. Of course not. That's why he was supposed to take all the blame. He was the scapegoat. He basically did. She got out in 8.5 years. It basically worked. But we know the deal. She was supposed to take him out too. And then no one would have went to prison. He would have went to his grave thinking he was a complete maniac that raped and killed Dee Dee and then raped and was trying to kill her, and she just defended herself, and she would have been the hero from fucking jump, and that's how it was supposed to work. Okay? So this alone tells you that something's not right. It's the only case ever where the fucking hitman, they have the principal testify against and say it's testifying for him. So he gets life and she gets it reduced to second-degree murder. It doesn't make sense, guys. Okay? Now, the attorneys. Of course, I'm not going to talk about Jeray right now because she doesn't really come into it till after. She's just a Luciferian too, and that was given to her for her family law. They give you attorneys that are Luciferians for criminal and for family, whatever you need. That's why she keeps popping up. I don't want to get into her, but in this one. But Stansfield, guys, not only did he go register the day of, how about once her case was adjudicated, he as a public defender was not being paid by the family. Once her case was adjudicated, she was found guilty and she was sentenced. That's it. He's done with her. How come he's running around making deals with her family, with HBO and all these things, and setting up shit and becomes her business manager? He's a criminal defense attorney. He's in private practice now. He's a criminal. He's not a fucking PR guy. He's not a fucking civil attorney. He's none of that shit. He's a criminal law attorney. What the fuck is going on here, man? It's exactly what I'm telling you is going on. She was issued him. And that's her go-to person now. David Blanchard was until she fucked up. Okay? So now, she wasn't supposed to go to prison at all. So David Blanchard, Mike Stansfield was running around doing all these things, he was building a narrative for her as the victim so when she got out, she could get handed everything. Because she didn't get it right away because she didn't kill Nick like she was supposed to. And I'm telling you, it was because his dick didn't get hard, man. If he would have deposited sperm in her, it would have been a wrap. She would have killed him, said she would have rubbed his semen on Mama, had it in her already, would have killed him, would have scratched him up as defense measures, his DNA under her fucking nails. That's what David Blanchard told her to do, and it would have been a fucking wrap, man. Okay? So, there's a reason Mike Stansfield, after the case was adjudicated and over with, he shouldn't have dealt with her at all anymore. If she needed there would have been an appeal situation, she hadn't taken a plea agreement, she would have been given an appellate attorney. He's done. But he wasn't, and he's still snooping around. And then he goes to where she's being released at fucking 3:33 in the fucking morning. Come on, man. This is all circumstantial evidence that it's exactly what I said, okay? Building a narrative the whole time. 2 documentaries to make him look like an animal, to make Nick look like an animal that's locked away where he should be, and when he stabbed a dead fucking body, and I'm going to make a whole thing about that fake autopsy and how it does not match the evidence, and what I tell you matches the evidence as to what fucking happened there, guys. All right? What did she get? She got the shit with Kim Kardashian, Jeffree Star. Okay, that is a thing, guys. She could have turned that into something. She gets all those followers, the majority of them were bought for her. All those millions of followers and all these different sites were paid for her by them, by Luciferians. They bought that for her. She got a full media tour. She got a fucking television show and a book deal. She got her obligatory gay husband given to her. They all get that. Fucking Jeray Jarreau got one too. The ones... It's every bit of it, man. That TV show should have not even been renewed. That other sentence, the ratings were so poor. The ratings were so fucking poor that they shouldn't have been. Her book sales were so poor. They shouldn't be going to paperback. You fucking kidding me, man? Guys, man. It's exactly what I said. And this is all good circumstantial evidence that this bitch cut a deal. And that's why. That's why she gets all these things handed to her. That's why she gets away with murder. That's why she could do whatever she wanted on parole. That is why she was able to just switch her fucking parole from She's supposed to be doing it in Missouri. She just switched it from Missouri to Louisiana just like that, and made up a lie and said that the judge or the parole officer, someone chased her out of Missouri. Bullshit. She would have had to do interstate compact, which should have been handled before she got out of prison, actually. But if not, if you want to do it, you want to move state, you can move anywhere within the state you want. In the state, county to county or parish to parish, they have to do that day. That day they'll let you move. But if you want to leave the state, you have to get permission with the governors and do all that shit. It's supposed to be handled before you get out. That's another thing. There's another thing that tells you no one gets to do that but her. Because she cut a deal, man. They're above the law. Okay? Because they're all the federal, most of the federal judges and all the politicians and all the world leaders and everything, they're all part of it. It's all these same families back from ancient Greece and shit. It's the same ones, man. These are their fucking offspring. See you in the next one.